Welcome to Miracle Morning Mastermind. How's everybody doing?
Great in yourself.
Fantastic.
All right.
How do you choose to feel? That's how I translate that question. How do I choose to feel?
Awesome. Awesome.
Today is going to be a very powerful topic and a very profitable topic. Um, when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I remember number one, I was overcoming shyness, but I had some strong desires that were driving me more than the pain of talking to people and the discomfort of um, communicating, coming out of my shell. The desire for freedom was a stronger desire, and so it led me to find creative ways to market whatever I had to offer, even though I was overcoming my shyness and I lacked communication skills. And so in high school, when I started selling cake by the slice and cupcakes and M&Ms and Snickers and music books, um, basically solving problems as the CEO of Fard Bell Incorporated. People used to call me that in high school, by the way. I, there were people that I used to write my name on my paper as Fard Bell Incorporated because I had this Born CEO mindset. I'm the Born CEO of Fard Bell Incorporated. So everything I do that generates income is one of the services or products that I offer. Napoleon Hill used to call it a personal services corporation. He said everybody should operate like they have a personal services corporation. So even when I took my first job, I never saw it as my boss. I saw my job as one of my clients for Farbell Incorporated. And that mindset kind of carried me through, seeing myself as the born CEO of My Life Inc. And so, that being said, even though I was nervous about selling, I figured, what can I do? I can just show it. I can show instead of selling. And so today I want to kind of talk about, I hear a lot of people struggle like I have with sales or closing. And I want to talk about that because there are some simple solutions. And there's a way to make sales without necessarily being a great salesperson. But I want to kind of shift and give everyone some of the things that helped me get my breakthrough when it came to selling. And now, to me, I have a much healthier perspective of what sales is. To me, now, selling, inspiring, leading, persuading, making an impact. Today, now, sales has more of a connotation about making a positive impact on a person's life than it has about, it's more about making a positive impact than it is about getting something from people. That's powerful. Sales today means impacting people in a positive way for me, whereas whatever it was in the past had more of a negative connotation in my mind. I realized that if I don't sell someone on themselves, they will sell themselves short. If I don't sell someone on moving in the direction of their dreams and goals, the other voices that don't have their best interest in mind will sell them on sabotaging. If I don't sell a person on um, something they already want to do, but they're trying to overcome disempowering beliefs, thoughts, and emotions that are keeping them from doing it, I left that person where they were, where I could have left them better than I found them. And so to me, sales is now a very positive thing. And it took a long time for me because I didn't have it broken down in this way. But it's now I feel a healthy obligation to be an effective communicator. It's just effective communication to me now. So I want to give you all a few pointers on um, sales. And that was kind of the intro there. Like develop a very healthy perspective, a godly perspective of sales, influence, effective communication. Right? It's a positive thing. It's a great thing. Um, and the premise is that obviously people of integrity, people of character would never sell someone on something that's not in their best interest as well. So if anybody's listening to this, this is only for people that are people of purpose, people of integrity, people of character who will use this for the betterment of people, not for just selfish gain. Okay, let's get right into it. So when I first got approached sales and marketing, what helped me is the fact that when I was not good at it, I didn't know anything about it, is that success is a numbers game. And so we might hear some basic things, especially in the direct sales industry, direct marketing industry. You got a lot of new people that don't have any experience. And so how do you get a large group of people to do a few simple things consistently over time? And so it's important to teach new people things that they can do without having a lot of skills and for them to stick around long enough to develop the skills. So some of the simple things is like use the tools, let the tools do the talking, right? Very important for new people to let the tools do the talking because the company will produce presentation materials, videos, brochures, PowerPoints, slides, Zooms, that will do the presenting part for a person. So instead of that person having to have any particular sales skills, all they have to do is get good at scheduling an appointment and then use the tool that does the actual presentation. And the numbers game is the numbers game. Let's say 1 out of 10. On average, if the typical person will enroll 1 out of 10, and it's not about that person's skill, it's because the presentation did the work and the prospect, 1 out of 10 prospects is ready for it. Like there's a formula I've seen over 25 years in the legal shield business. About 1 out of 5 who see the presentation, from my experience and observation, over time, it seems that 4 out of 5 people end up getting it over time, and 1 out of 5 get it right away. 4 out of 5 get it over time. 1 out of 5 get it right away when they go through the process and get all their questions answered. So that gives us a ratio, right? A batting average. Oh, okay. So that means a person does not have to be good in terms of skills yet. They can still get 1 out of 5 right away. And if they stay in touch and keep the relationship alive and they're still here long enough, the other 3 out of 5 for a total of 4 out of 5 will enroll over time. So that's the philosophy that I built my legal shield business with. And that led to over $1 million in that process. So that's the skill-free version. But at some point, you want to start developing skills. And especially if you're building a team, you want to, as quickly as possible, become the skillful person for your team. So you become one of the resources that your team members can utilize. You become that third party, one of the third party tools, third party experts, third party presenters that your team members can utilize and know and build confidence that, man, if they get their prospects connected with you, they're in good hands because you've developed some skills. So let me share with you all some simple things that I discovered along the way from trial and error, from studying, practice. Everything I share is from studying, practicing, and teaching over the years. Studying it myself, investing a lot of time, a lot of money, seminars, trainings, audios, you name it. Practicing, trial and error, plan, do, review, make a plan, do it, review it, get better, make a new plan, do it, review it, make a better plan, do it, review it over time, and then working with lots of other people and teaching them, helping them study, practice, and teach. So that's the context that it comes from. So here's a simple framework that I've learned over the years. I'm like, wow, this could help speed people up in their process of bringing in, becoming way more effective at sales. How many people would love to get way more effective at sales and marketing and closing and confident at it and actually enjoy it and feel good about it because you know you're making a positive impact on people's lives? Okay, good, good,
Yeah.
good. Did y'all see that hook? That was the hook. Desire. So the first tip I want to give you, um, we can call this like the ABCs of sales and marketing. The first tip is to find out all the reasons why they might say yes. And I'm talking on the pro level, getting onto the pro level, stepping up to the pro level, raising your standards to the pro level of presenting and closing. So part of it, I realized that if I could prepare my presentation properly, a lot of alliteration, then it's like everything else is downhill from there. So preparing the presentation starts with identifying all the reasons the person might say yes. And you want to have a big list of reasons because your presentation needs to be packed with all these reasons that they might say yes. Now, first, this is in general. If you don't know the specific person you're speaking to, you're making a list of the reasons why the general audience that you're targeting would say yes. You want to be loaded mentally and emotionally and write it down. Write down a comprehensive list of all the reasons they might say yes and be loaded with all these reasons. In fact, imagine that they're telling you, if I'm going to take time to sit down with you or speak with you, at least do your homework and give me all the reasons why I should say yes. Be a professional. Don't make me go figure out all the reasons why I should say yes. If I'm the prospective client, it's your job to figure out all the reasons I might say yes and tell them to me. I'm busy. I don't have time to figure that out on my own. I might want to buy what you have to offer. I might want to support your cause. I might want to join your movement, join your team, whatever the case, whatever you're offering. But if you don't do your homework and give me all the reasons why I might say yes, it's your fault you didn't serve me. You left it to me to figure out, and I don't have time for that. That's your job. You're the professional. You get paid for this. So when's the last time you made a list of all the reasons why we might say yes, your target audience? And
Mhm.
and think outside the box. Of course, start with the obvious. What are the obvious reasons why I would buy? But as you're answering these questions, remember three things I want you to remember as you're making a list. Well, two things I want you to remember. Number one, what are all the desires that they want to move towards? And what are all the pain points they want to move away from related to what you have to offer? And you physically make the list. Something transforms when you physically write down the list and you really get emotionally in touch with all these emotional reasons. This is the desire and pain points. We've all heard it. People buy on emotions and they justify with logic what they already bought emotionally. Like, I know I probably shouldn't buy this purse. I know it's a lot of money for this purse, but it feels good. It's amazing. Da da da. And then we bring in the logic. And you know what? And it's going to look good. It's going to make me more money, and it's going to give me more status, give me more influence. I'm going to be more confident, whatever it is, right? Same thing. Or a car, whatever it is, right? So we've heard that, but this is the practical breakdown. I used to hear it, but nobody really broke it down for me the way I'm breaking it down for you. So make a list. And then all the pain points they want to move away from. Those are the top two reasons why people move into action, is because desires they want to move toward and the pain points they want to move away from. And if you can't give me a list of enough desires, you can't help me feel the desires, remind me of the desires that I already have that I want to move towards, and remind me of all the pain points that I want to move away from, then you didn't do your job. And that's why I'm not moving into action. Number two, in terms of so that was A, find out all the reasons why they might say yes. And as you're doing that, think about every area of their life that is affected by it. Maybe if you market a legal plan, of course, that's going to impact their family, peace of mind, protection. But guess what? Stressful situations in life, doesn't it impact my health as well? Are you talking to me about how what you offer can impact my health in a positive way, or reduce the negative health factors in my life in a positive way? Does that affect my relationships if I'm stressed out because of life events? Does it affect my peace of mind? Can it affect me financially, emotionally, physically? Think about every aspect of my life and how your solution can impact every aspect of my life, or you didn't do your job. I have walked into places with the intention of buying things, and then the person that I was dealing with turned me off, and I left to go get it somewhere else. Like, I wanted to buy a solution. I want to move towards the things I want to move towards. I want to move away from the things I want to move away from, but people can turn me off. Have you ever done that before? You wanted to buy something and you dealt with somebody you didn't want to buy from, so you went and either didn't buy it or you went and bought it somewhere else? Uh-huh. Okay, so that's A. Find out all the reasons why they would say yes, and make a big list. Emotional reasons, and communicate emotionally. How do you do that? One, asking questions, interviewing your target audience, listening to them, taking the time to interview before you try to sell us. And I'm going to be the person you're presenting to, your audience. I'm going to represent your audience today, and I'm going to speak for them. What we're telling you is, do your homework. Like, before you jump into trying to give me your solutions, why don't you take the time to do some assessments? Find out what's going on in my life. Ask me some questions that find out where the pain is. Like a doctor, you show up to the doctor's going to ask some questions, do some checkups. Let's see where it hurts. Let's see, things are going well. So where's it hurt? That's finding out the pain points that I want to move away from. And then what are my goals? What are my desires? That's what the desires I want to move towards. All right, your health is good. Where do you want to go from here? Oh, you know what? I would love to be able to put a trust in place for my family, so my family's got peace of mind and protection. Are you asking the type of questions that can reveal my desires like a professional will, and asking the kind of questions that reveal my pain points that I might not be thinking about right now because I got so much on my mind? It's your job as a professional to bring that to the surface of my mind. Is this helping anybody?
Yes.
So that's A. Find out all the reasons why. And get one more phrase there. Listen, when you interview enough people, you're going to start hearing some of the same language show up. Your job is to learn the language of your audience, not your language. I don't speak your language. We speak our language. Your audience, we speak our own language. So if you're using terms that mean something to you, but you're not using the terms that we're using when we tell you what we want and what we desire, what our goals are and what our pain points are, we're not hearing you. So you got to speak our language. Use the words that we're using to describe what we want and describe how we feel and describe what we're going through and describe the pains that we want to move towards, the struggles that we're facing. Now, when you start talking, we're going to feel like you cared enough to take the time to understand us. How do you know that? How are you speaking my language so well? Oh my gosh, you understand me. You earned my trust. You now qualify as my trusted advisor, and you didn't even offer me a solution yet. You just let me know that you understand my pain. You understand my desire. You understand my struggles. You understand my hopes. You understand the things I've tried before that didn't even work, which leads to B. B, make a list of all the reasons I might say no. Make a list of all the reasons I might say no. Even though I have these desires, even though I have these pains, I still might say no. Why would I say no to an obvious solution, what seems to you to be obvious? Why would I say no to a solution to my desires and a solution to my pain points when you actually have a solution? Well, number one is you didn't do your job at letting me know that you understood my pain and desires and bringing them back to the surface. There's an old phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Well, let me tell you what you can do. You can make them thirsty. You don't have to make the horse drink. Just make the horse thirsty and then lead them to the water. They'll drink on their own. So if you, that's your job. So that's one reason I might say, no, you didn't make me thirsty enough by digging into my desires and pain points and bringing it to the surface. I hate those little things they use at the doctor. Remember, they take that thing and hit your kneecap with that little triangle thing?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you hitting? Why you? It was already hurting. Why are you doing that? Because they need, sometimes they got to bring the, feel out, find out where it hurts. Find out where it hurts. So if they don't do their job and find out where it hurts, I can convince myself that it doesn't hurt bad enough for me to do anything about it. Are y'all hearing this?
Yes.
So if you care about me, do not let me walk away convincing myself that it doesn't hurt bad enough or the desire is not important enough. That's one of the reasons I might say no to something I actually need and really desire. Another reason I might say no, this is very important, everybody, false beliefs. False beliefs. You got to make a list of all the part of the reasons I might say no, include in that what are all the false beliefs that could keep me from buying a solution? Like false beliefs that the solution, there's a few. Let me give you a few. Number one, this false belief is that the solution won't work. Does this solution really work? You know, I remember when I was a kid, I used to paint. I used to do painting. My mom managed some real estate that she owned, and by default, I was a part of the family business. And sometimes that entailed painting. I actually enjoyed painting. And I remember these infomercials came on. I'll never forget this one came on, and it was a paint gun where there was a pole inside of the paint stick, and it could suck up the paint into the pole, and then you just hit a button. I'm like, oh, I want that paint. I want that paint stick right there. That should be so fun, so much easier to paint with. But guess what popped up in my head? Did I have a desire? Yes. Could it solve a problem that I had, making it easy for me instead of going in the bucket and painting and all that stuff? Yes, but I never did buy it. I never got around to buying it. Your job is to make a list of all the reasons why somebody who wanted it didn't buy it. So it could be I'm doubting. I see it on the commercial, but is it really going to work? Is it really going to work? That's what I want y'all to write down. Is it really going to work? How did they overcome that objection? You got to show me testimonials of other people like me that it worked for. Is it working for other people? And that goes in the letter C. So let me give you ABC up front so you know where to put these. A was find out all the reasons that we might say no. The audience might say no. B, find out all the reasons they might say no. So A, all the reasons they might say yes. B, all the reasons they might say no. C, load up your presentation with solutions with all the reasons they would say yes and overcome all the concerns of why they might say no. And then and then confirm that you've handled all those objections and ask them to get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. So C is address all the reasons why they might say yes, all the reasons they might say no, and then lead them to get started now. There's no reason to wait. Now that all your reasons to say yes are clear, all the reasons that would have stopped you, we've covered those, we've handled those successfully. You got to confirm, don't assume, confirm that you've answered all those concerns and questions. And once you've confirmed that all of their concerns have been addressed that would have kept them from getting started today, lead them. Let's get started. Let's get started. That's C. Now let's go back to B. Let's go back to B. So, false beliefs. False beliefs. Will the vehicle work for me? That solution. False belief number 2. Internal. What is going on internally that might stop me? Okay, you sold me that it can work. You gave me so many examples and case studies and testimonials that, okay, I'm now convinced that it can work. The vehicle will work, but I don't know if it'll work for me. I'm now convinced that it'll work for people, but it might not work for me because I'm shy. It might not work for me because whatever my situation is. I didn't get a degree. I didn't go to college. Whatever internal beliefs, you got to find out what are the internal false beliefs that might keep me from doing it. And until you address those internal false beliefs, there's a percentage of your audience that wants to buy, needs what you have, but they still won't buy until your presentation addresses, either in the presentation or your follow-up, they have to address my internal false beliefs. And then the third one, it has to address my external false beliefs. Okay, yeah, you got me sold now that yes, I can see how this solution can work for everybody. And then you address my false beliefs internally, and now I can see that it can work for me, my internal concerns. But I have some external circumstances or concerns that keep me from buying as well. Yeah, but the economy, I don't know if it'll work because of this economy or this thing outside of me that could keep me from doing it that I have no control over in my mind. You got to figure out what that is and address it. So those are the ABCs of sales and marketing, family. Uh, who's got some big takeaways as we wrap up? What's your biggest takeaway? What does this do for you, and what's your biggest takeaway?
Good
You
morning. Good
know,
morning. Go
good
ahead,
morning.
Minister. I will be
No,
after
go
you.
ahead. Nope. Natasha, go
Coach,
ahead.
Coach Natasha?
All right. Okay. Um, Even if was a business owner, I still had some negative thoughts about sales, and that be changed after I read either the GoPro or the Jim One books. I don't remember when they take the analogy of a store like Macy's, and you're supposed to change your belief like a buyer first. But for example, when you enter a store, the seller come and offer you their help, and you say, "Oh no," and you will end up buy anyway. So I start changing my belief about sales, and Grant Cardone in his book, Sell or Be Sold. I realize in that economy, if you don't have anything to sell, you will be sold. And I don't want to be sold. I don't want to be only consumer. So this is no big deal to be a seller. So now how to be a good seller. So thank you, Coach Bell, for breaking down the steps. And it's so true when you don't speak the same language of your audience. For example, you don't know their situation and you just come with your solution, but they might need this solution, but for not the same reason. You're supposed to take time to speak with them to understand their pain point. For example, last month I have my friend's pastor, my therapist. She invited me to something to Thanksgiving. I didn't even care about that. But yesterday I had my down moment because um most Sundays, I remember my mom. I miss my mom more. And she knows that because she knew the habit I created with my mom. And after church, she said, "What is your plan today? Let's go to lunch." I laughed. I said, "I know what you are trying to prevent me, but I want to live that moment. Okay, tell me your plan." I said, "I am going to buy flyers and I will just share as I used to buy flowers for my mom." She said, "Okay, I will be with you." And after she said, "Let's plan for the holiday because I know the holiday will be hard for you. What is your plan?" Last month, she was just invited me to the Thanksgiving things. I said no. But yesterday, she said, "What is your plans for Thanksgiving?" Natasha, let me tell you, it will be always like that. You will be missing your mom. Let's plan for the holiday. And she ended up saying, "Okay, we will go to Las Vegas and things. So if you wanna go, we can find you discount in the hotel." She asked about my pain point. She didn't just invited me. She might have the same intention for the last time she taught me about these Thanksgiving things. But now she takes time to make me realize it is not for her, but it is more for me. When you are pitching your business, think about the customer, think about the prospect. What is for him or for her, not for you. For example, we know those fancy language, those fancy residual income, but when you go out there, you just said residual income to someone. Does this person understand it? But when you say, "Do you want to make money even if you are sleeping?" they will understand. So I so agree. I do agree with you, Coach Bell. Um, Start talking to the person, but listen them more. Listen about their situation. Listen about their pain points. And even if you are shy, even if you don't master the language, you will gain more by learning about the person. Just have a hook, for example, just a sentence, a powerful sentence, and let the person tell you everything about him. And after that, she or he, it will be difficult. Make it difficult for them to say no. For example, now it's difficult for me to say no for this Thanksgiving trip. I just said, "Okay, give me until Wednesday to give an answer," because she already have me say yes for everything else. Yes, I will be suffering for the holiday. Yes, I will be remembering my mama. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Now, how can I say no for going to that trip? So make them say yes for every other pinpoint question, and now just offer them the solution.
OMG. Everybody unmute. Make some noise for Coach Natasha Dessine. Woo
All
woo.
right, Miss
That's on
Natasha, let's
Woo!
target.
go.
That's
Mic
on
drop.
target. That's
That is
wonderful.
divine
Yeah.
idea.
Shining like
Natasha, that's
diamonds.
great.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did that example not bring it home?
Right
Absolutely.
on
Yes.
target.
Yes,
Yes.
Right
yes,
on
yes.
target.
It was better for
Now
Yes.
me.
watch. Now watch this. She was saying no to something she needed
Yes.
and something she wanted.
Yeah.
And somebody served her well enough. They cared enough to understand the perspective of the target audience
Hmm.
and speak in that person's language.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Awesome.
uh. Okay, who else? Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Coach Natasha, for sharing that transparent and vulnerable testimonial.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
I'll go next. Deidre Glover, Houston, Texas. I'm an executive director and an executive director maker. I totally understand the rationale behind getting a person's pain point. Um, this is also so great. I mean, it's just so deep and it's so deep. And you taught us on such a higher level, coach. Um, this is higher level when you went deep like that. My question is, or my thought is, how in the world am I going to, okay, um, are these ways for somebody that you just met? Are these ways to reach a person? Uh, um, okay, I know they're designed for everybody. I know that. But my how will I reach that person and get them to go deep like that? Get them to go in like that? Because if I'm just meeting someone and I say, "Oh, your shoes are beautiful," and we get to talking about the shoes and where they bought the shoes, how am I gonna? I don't know. I understand it. I
I
totally
think
get it.
I think I understand your question. Tell me if I understand your question. I think your question is, when will I have time to ask those questions and find it out? At what point is it appropriate to ask those questions? Am I on the right track?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. And
Yes, I got
to get a person to come to their desires and their for you to get their pain points, that seemed like it's a it is a position or a place where a person just don't go right away. I mean, you got to know somebody somewhat to be able to do that. That is awesome to get a person's desires and then get their pain points. Oh yeah, that is very so dig
like
a
some
little
tips.
deeper with that. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so here's some tips. So that's a very excellent questions. So a couple things. One is, um, if you all caught what Coach Natasha just shared, what I want you to, she said something at the end. I don't know if everybody caught it. It's very important. She said, even if you're shy or new or nervous, if you do a good job finding out the problem and the pain point, that
Mm-hmm.
other person will actually sell themselves. Let me say it a different way. You will make more sales by getting them talking about the problem and the desire than you will talking about the solution. If you get me crystal clear on my desires and pain point, you do that well enough, I will beg you for a solution. You don't have to be all that great at selling me your solution when you've done an excellent job at pulling out the desire and the problem. So I would say spend more time on the desire and the pain points than you do on the actual solution. Second tip, sometimes You need more than one meeting with a person. Sometimes the first meeting is not about the solution. It's just about rapport and connection. And in that rapport and connection, there's an exchange. It's not a one-way street, which leads to the third tip. If you are vulnerable about your own desires and pain points first, and or other people, other examples of people desires and pain points that have been helped by your solution, it will make me feel more comfortable opening up about my desires and pain points. We talked about the dip that Lisa taught me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those are a few things that will help. What'd you take away from that,
Got it.
Miss?
Okay. I understand that. I got that. Okay. Just need. I really liked spending more time. Need more than one meeting. So I got that. Okay, I got that, and you can move on. You can get to that point. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody make some noise for Miss Deidre Glover. Whoop whoop.
Woo-hoo.
Woo-hoo.
Thank
All
you,
right, Mr.
Glover.
John.
Woo-woo.
Woo-hoo. Woo.
I'm going a little longer today, so this is all captured, so everybody can go back to it and watch it, because this is going to be a major training resource for everyone.
Yes.
Can I add something, Coach?
Yes, ma'am.
Teresa just post in the chat about form build the relationship, and I do agree. For some people, you can offer them the solution at the very first meeting, but some others people require more than a meeting. For example, I have my friend. She had that high-paying job in the government. She is my friend, and she is working at La NASA. With the shutdown, she is worried now. And we used to go to lunch time to time. And last Saturday, she said, Bestie, I know that we're supposed to go to lunch this month. Let's do it next Sunday because after that, I will have to save all my penny. I already know the solution that I will offer her, but I couldn't do it in the message. I couldn't say, oh, yeah, I understand you, bestie. Let me share something with you. No, it will sound too transactional. But I will go to that lunch with her, and I will pay the bill. We won't share. We used to share, but that time we won't share. She will say, no, bestie, I know you have your job. I said, but I also have my business inside. And by the way, I think that you already see the picture. So for some people, it take one first outreach, but for some other people, it takes so many other times. And also, I want us to understand it's better to let the person think that he or she is a buyer instead of you are a seller. For example, whenever you go to Target or Walmart, you will saw this immigrant, Latino immigrant here in California. They are selling strawberries. They offer a lot of strawberries for $5, $10. You never buy because they are offering it too fast. But when you enter the Walmart and you enter the Walgreens, you will end up buying less for more money because you have the feeling that you are doing it yourself. No one is forcing you to do it. That's why I never force people. I just wanted to share that. Let the people think that they are the buyer. Yes, I see the value in that things. I want to have it for me. I want to have it for my family. And not someone came desperately to me and asked me, oh, please, please do that. Please do this. That's why I coach my team member. Once you finish to send the video to the person, you just create the group and we will do the rest. No, please go watch the video for me. Please. No, not that. We are not begging.
Woo-hoo.
We got to make some more noise for Mrs.
Yeah.
Tasha Martinez.
Woo-hoo.
Awesome.
Boom.
Awesome. Yes.
Boom. Yes. All right, Mr. Tasha.
Wow.
Um,
Masterclass.
Masterclass, right? How many of y'all want to be in a mastermind with Coach Natasha Decine?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh. Coming soon. Coming soon.
Oh.
Who's next?
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes,
Great
I'm
morning.
Fitner.
Name, city,
I'm
state.
just an associate. But my takeaway for today, thank you, by the way, thank you for Coach Bell. You mentioned my takeaway is sale should always be a win-win situation. The goal is not just to close a deal, but to make sure the customer truly benefits from what you are offering. Like
Yeah.
she mentioned, yeah, exactly. You don't have to push or to convince someone to take it. They will see why it makes sense for them. It's correct. You check what they need and you solve it. It's a win-win situation. This is my takeaway.
I love it. What city and state or province do you live in?
Oh, I'm in Florida.
And what,
Hollywood, Florida.
Hollywood, Florida. Everybody make some noise. Whoop,
Woo
whoop.
woo.
Woo, woo.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, let's go.
I like Hollywood Beach. All
Mhm.
right, who's next?
It's good.
All right, is that
Uh,
everybody for now? Oh, go ahead.
yes. Hello, everybody, and thank you, Coach Bell and Coach Natasha. I am Jennifer. I have a question. Like, when you go to the BNI, you present Lego Shield like a business. It's not like you're telling people that you want a business partner or something, but you're selling it. You're telling what services we are offering and stuff like that. So can I use the same thing, like if I go to Facebook and just contact a individual that I don't know? Can I use the same method? Because I won't have enough time really to know this person, because I don't know the person. It's just somebody like that. So
So
can I use the same?
gi- give me an example of what that might look like.
Let's say I had a tip from my coach, like we realtor people, the people in the real estate, some stuff like that.
So you would do what on social media?
Like presenting Legal Shield, like the services we are offering, like small business owners.
So I mean, what are you saying? You're going to post something on your page, or you're going to send somebody a private message?
Yeah,
That's
private
real estate.
message.
And then you're going to say what? So you haven't met me before, but we were in a real estate Facebook group, and now you're going to send me a private message and say what?
Um, like the tip I had, it's like if you select the person, just become a realtor, you just congratulate this person, blah blah blah, and selling that you are aware like of the
Mhm.
challenging that realtors are having, and
Okay.
and so you are part of a huge company helping those
Okay.
people.
I think I understand now. What
Okay.
how can you approach people and make them interested or get their attention enough to want to see some more information about it? Is that kind of the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I have a resource called, when you go to our team website and click on inviting, or you can go to BornCEO.com/inviting. And it says something like 3 keys to contacting and inviting. And then I have a
A
list of
list of
30 different approaches that you can utilize. My favorite tip on this, for anybody, is always give me a reason why I might want to look at your information. A compelling reason. Good morning. And if your reason is strong enough and effective enough, to Jennifer's point, then I would be open to looking at more information. Because your goal is never confuse the presentation with the approach. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make is they do a presentation when they're only supposed to be getting an appointment to do a presentation. Those are two separate steps. So when you're approaching me, the approach is just to give me enough reason why I might want to sit down with you or to meet with you or to look at some information. And the second step, I'm going to see the presentation. So in that approach, um, to Jennifer's point, you might go to Chat GPT and write down what are the top 5 to 10 reasons why real estate agents might want to offer Legal Shield or might want to have it. What are the top 5 to 10 reasons small business owners might want to have Legal Shield or offer Legal Shield to their clients? So now you can utilize those tips in the approach. And you can get even more specific. Instead of just a general small business owner, if you know you're going to go speak with a restaurant owner, you can ask Chat GPT, what are the top 5 to 10 reasons why a restaurant owner might want to have Legal Shield or offer Legal Shield? And now that'll give you an effective approach where you can say, hello, such and such, we're in the same group together. I noticed that you're in real estate, and I'm doing a lot of referral business with real estate professionals. Do any of your clients ever deal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or do you ever have concerns about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And if so, I would love to set up a time to share with you some of the solutions that we have for that. So now you can use an approach like that and custom tailor it for individuals. And for those who are in BNI, remember, number one, everybody I recommend everybody join BNI for at least 2 years. Business Networking International. Look it up, BornCEO.com. Find the local chapters. If you're on my team, reach out to me. I'll share with you some of my suggestions for that. And but when you join BNI, you're only presenting the services and you're not selling the other members in the chapter on why they should buy your service. You're helping them understand why the people they know should buy the service so that they can refer them to you. So powerful. Everybody make some noise for Miss Jennifer out there in Tampa, Florida. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop. All right, Miss Jennifer.
Thank you. I love you too. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else before we wrap up? So family, those are the ABCs of selling and marketing. A, make a list of all the reasons they might say yes in every area of their lives. You know, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. How does this affect all the aspects of their lives? And most importantly, what are the desires they want to move towards already and the pain points they might want to move away from? Remember, they're already looking. I wanted to say this to Miss Deidre earlier. You don't have to get them motivated to go in a certain direction, everybody. People are already moving towards the desires and they're already moving away from the pain points. So the beauty behind this is you're not resisting that or trying to manufacture something that's not already there. You're just taking the time to care enough to find out what is there. And that can be done on a large scale with a large audience. And so let's say there's a target audience you want to reach. Why don't you set a goal to interview 10, 20, 30 of them and see what they have in common? In fact, it's not a bad idea to interview 100 of them. Set a goal to interview 100 people in your target audience. That just means take time to get to know them and just do it
can't hear you.
To say no to you.
I
Just
missed
like
all that.
it was
I
very
missed all
difficult.
that. I don't know if I'll go back and listen because you
But
went
you
in
were
and
frozen. You were
yeah, you were
frozen for
Yeah,
a
frozen.
you
little
were
bit.
frozen, all of us, for almost a whole minute.
I think he's
Yep.
frozen now. He's in a bad patch.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just in a bad spot. So his signal's going in and out. So he's frozen right now.
Possible for us to say no to that invitation. Let me
Hey,
mute up the
coach.
line.
Hey,
Yes.
coach. You were frozen for the last probably 90 seconds. So we didn't
Oh,
hear a lot of what you said. That's why we
Yeah,
were
that's why we
open
were
mics.
talking.
oh, what was the last thing you all heard?
Oh my
Target
God.
audience, interview 100 people in your target audience, and that was it.
Got it. Thank you. Okay. Give me 1 second. I think it just picked up my Wi-Fi. That's why it switched me over.
Okay.
Yeah, right after you said set a goal to interview, that was the last.
Set a goal to interview. First, I said 10, 20, 30 people in your target audience. And by the time you're done, how much confidence and clarity are you going to have after meeting with that many people? And I would say go on to do it 100 times. My philosophy is the first 100 of anything is just practice. The first 100, if I'm new at something, I immediately do it 100 times. I don't care what it is. The first 100 is just for practice. I'm not going to feel discouraged by any results or lack of results because I'm doing it the first 100 times just for practice. And in that practice, I'm going for mastery. I'm not just going for a couple signups or whatever, short-term results. I'm looking to master something. So master your audience, and you'll never have to worry about making sales because you'll speak the language of your audience so well that the moment you open your mouth, their heads are going to be nodding like, yes, you understand me. And you're constantly checking in to make sure that I understand you correctly. If you heard when somebody asks me a question or I hear somebody trying to ask a question, notice how I respond by saying, this is what I think you're saying. Am I correct? Am I hearing you correctly? And then they say, yes, you hear me correctly. And then I proceed. I don't assume that I understand what they're saying. I check to make sure I understand their desires. If I'm talking to a prospect, if I'm hearing you correctly, I think you're saying that what's really important to you is that you have the time for your family that you desire to have. You don't have a whole lot of hours to work. You're concerned that you don't know that you're not good at sales and you've never been good at sales before. But if we could show you a way to address all of that, am I correct to say that you'll be ready to get started? And y'all see how my head is nodding as well? Even if we're on the
Mm-hmm.
phone,
Mm-hmm.
my body language will show up in my voice inflection. So my head is nodding. And then she's like, you can almost hear the sigh of relief in their voice when you've heard them correctly. And so instead of trying to sell them and convince them, and you're relieving them like, wow, this person really does understand me. This person really does understand my pain. They understand my concerns. They understand my fear. And they're saying, if we can show you a way to address all of that, would I be ready to get started? Well, yeah. And I didn't even address all of the ways yet. I just made sure I understood the desire and the pain, and she's ready to get started already. And I haven't even told her the solution. I'm just letting her know, okay, I can tell you this. I've got a solution for you in all of those areas. We're going to teach you all of that in training. Would that work for you? Yes. And boom. All right, perfect. Let's get you started. So, family, this will be on the YouTube channel. Let's go out there and practice it. Make a list of all the reasons. Find out all the reasons they would say yes. B, find out all the reasons they would say no. And C, um, address all of those reasons in your presentation in a compelling way and confirm with them that you've addressed all of their desires and concerns and lead them to get started. If we can address all of those desires and all of those concerns, would you be ready to get started? All right, then let's move forward. Let's go crush it, everybody. ED equals?
Okay.
Every
Every
day.
day.
What time is it?
Ring
Ring
Green
time.
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 Next stop.
Platinum.
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 Love y'all. Have a great day, everybody.